In today's webinar, we're going to talk about all things special needs trusts. We're going to dig deep into what is a special needs trust? How do you go about using one? Why would you use one? Do you need a special needs trust in addition to an ABLE account, or can you use one or the other sort of interchangeably? We're going to talk about how to fund special needs trusts, how to not fund special needs trusts. We're going to talk about first party, third party special needs trusts. We're going to talk about pooled special needs trusts. All things special needs trust. And with that, we will turn to our resident expert. My name is Keith Caldwell. I am a parent just like most of you guys out there. And I am learning and listening from Ryan as well, because I have a lot of questions myself as I plan for the future when I'm gone. So with that, I'll let Ryan go ahead and introduce himself.
Yeah, I mean, that list from Keith, I'm tired myself just thinking about it. Holy mackerel. But I appreciate everybody sending your questions in. If this is the first time that you're coming to this webinar, thank you so much. Keith and I have been blessed to be doing these for folks since I believe 2013, Keith, if I remember correctly. So we've gone through quite a number of iterations, and we've stumbled on doing some of these question and answer sessions. Because, we want to make sure we're answering questions that you guys have.
So, Mark Ambrose, sorry your name is not the same as Slim Dog, but I'm going to go ahead and broadcast it. Slim Dog is going to be my new name. I like that. Mark Ambrose is asking, I'm funding the great majority of my daughters at attainment of room to... I'm funding the great majority of my daughter at attainment of room... All right, maybe I didn't mean that. I'm sorry, Mark. Gordon Colson's assets would typically qualify for a special needs trust.
How much in assets? Well, it depends. I mean, you can have as many assets as you want in the special needs trust. If you're looking for a corporate trustee, meaning a company like a bank or a financial institution, to manage it or to be the trustee, you're probably looking somewhere of $1 million to have that in there. But there are other options below that. But if you're looking for a corporate trustee like a bank, that's probably going to be the number. But that doesn't mean that families have to fund a special needs trust with $1 million, because you could have other folks as a trustee that there wouldn't be that minimum.
Right. Michael D. Amico, I think I met him a few times on YouTube. He says, I don't know the answer to this, so we're going to ask it. Does the S&T get the $250K gain exclusion if the S&T sells a house?
If the S&T sells the house, well, no, because it's not a prime. It's like the S&T is not a person that lives in the house as its primary residence, right? Because somebody else is living there as the primary resident. And usually that person's paying rent, as I mentioned before. So the individual with the disability would normally have a lease agreement with the trust, so that it would really be an income generating entity for the trust to help pay for other things, for the individual with a disability possibly. But that's a good question. I'm going to look into that a little bit more. But on the top, just on the face of it, I've never seen that work.
Well, let me ask you a question. The concept is if you're a husband and wife and someone dies, then they can take the exclusion because they're husband and wife kind of situation. But would it make sense to claim those exclusions before the trust gets it? Can you gift it to the trust in its entirety after the parents have claimed those?
Well, right now, there's still a step up in cost basis on the sale of a home to the next generation. That would include the trust. So if somebody bought a house for $250 at this point and it's worth $1 million, well, when that person dies, that next generation's cost base of that house is $1 million. So there's no taxes to pay or anything else. And if the special needs trust is the one that's going to receive that, they get that same step up in cost basis as it exists today.
Okay. We answered that one. I just want to pull up all Slim Dog stuff. I just do. I just like that. Um, for the same reason, student loans, government benefits, can I keep funds in the ABLE account? Do you know what he's asking there, Ryan? I'll broadcast it so you can see.
I don't.
All right, well, we'll come back to
yes,
that.
you can keep funds in an ABLE account and still receive government benefits.
Okay.
That's one of the ideas of it, yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Ryan. So how about the Roth IRA? Would a Roth IRA be a good one to fund a special needs trust since it's already post-tax? It's already been taxed.
Yep, that's another good one.
So life insurance is good for the things that we talked about, but Roth IRA, since it's already been taxed. So
yep, absolutely.
401, KIOs, and traditional IRAs, probably not so much?
Not so, just because of the tax implication of it.
But you got to be concerned about that, because if you're at a compressed rate paying almost 50%, that's pretty significant loss of principal.
It is. But there's always something to do if you do it ahead of time.
True. Let's see. These guys are all talking to themselves. So good.
Awesome.
Roz 805. I hope she's from the 805 like Bakersfield. If you're out, shout out to the other Californian there. We have 3 conservative adults. Do we need 3 separate special needs trusts, or can we have one?
You should really have 3 different ones, because it's supposed to be, for the primary benefit of the beneficiary of that trust. We always suggest that you do 3 just to make sure that it works appropriately.
All right. Let's see here.
I like the outfit on Roz 805 too. That was pretty sweet. I don't know if that's her outfit or just one that she found, but
but her question makes me ask a question too. So if because like for my 529 regular college fund account, I had created one for both of my sons, but it became obvious that my second son was not necessarily going to go to college, so I transferred his over to his ABLE account. But I could have had just one 529 account, and if my first son didn't use it all, I could have changed the beneficiary or whoever it's called there to my second son, right?
You can.
All right. So there's value there, but it's different here because the special needs trust is for that unique individual.
Right.
Yes, Alan and Tracy Reed. Once you get over $100,000, it becomes a challenge potentially for qualify for benefits. But all that means is that you need to pay it down and buy some things. You should be monitoring it. But that's something you should communicate with the next caregiver because they may not know. They may think it's a benefit to grow that as much as possible and not recognize the other side that will hit them when they lose that money that they've been getting on a monthly basis. So you're aware of it, but make sure you communicate that to the next generation. Is that fair, Ryan?
Yes.
Let's see, what else we have? Carolyn Rogers says, I thought they don't impact benefits until after 400,000. I bet you, Ryan, that she's referring to the limits that a lot of those people say there, $500,000 limit, whatever it is. But that's unrelated to the law that says anything over 100,000 is impacted, right?
Yep. So every state that has an ABLE account will have an annual, will have a total account value maximum that can be in there. And all of those maximums are higher than the $100,000 account value maximum where SSI is suspended. So 2 totally different things. But so Carolyn, you're right. You can put more than $100,000 in every ABLE account that exists. It's just when you do, you will lose one of the government benefits, and that is called SSI. Supplemental security income, which is the monthly income.
So that's why another reason you'd want to have that money partitioned potentially into a third-party trust.
That's right.
Right. So it can grow to whatever amount it can grow to, and it has none of those same limitations. Okay.
Right.
Angie Schuler, I'm going to pull it. Can I transfer dollars from a trust to an ABLE account?
Yes.
There we go. Ryan, you are direct and succinct. That is a rare thing. I love it.
That is rare, my friend.
All right. May Baird asks, can I roll dollars over? Let me bring it up here. Can I roll dollars over from a first-party S&T to an able account, keeping within the annual limit? That's the same question as before, right?
Yes, keeping within the annual limits.
First-party is that same ability?
Yep.
So I could contact my son's first-party trustee and say, "Hey, transfer some money." I might have to educate him, maybe potentially, but
You can.
all right. I leave those guys alone. They do the investments. Much love back to you there, Slim Dog. These guys are funny. Can Ryan please answer my question above? Burnshaw, can you re-answer it? I must have missed it. If you have a question from above, because this is the last question. We're going to wrap up soon. I want to get to you. I didn't see a question from Burnshaw. I'm going to try to look for it real quick. Oh, okay, here it is. Do you have any questions on how to word a letter to the judge for a court-ordered blocked account? I would like to get the balance transferred to an able account as the balance is only $8,000. Let me bring it
up. That's a good question. I'm not sure what the reason for the blocked account might be. It could be that, I don't know, sometimes judges block accounts because the child's a minor, and because it came from an inheritance from somebody else. We had that happen.
What does block mean? I don't even understand the question.
Well, it means the court's holding it because, let's say, a grandparent gave money directly to a grandchild, and the grandchild's 13 years old. Well, the court's responsible for that money now. Guess what? It is wrapped up inside the court. So there's no way for the parents to get the money, or really for the child to get it. And so usually they do a court-appointed guardian of the estate. Is usually what happens for those.
And there goes that $8,000
right.
in fees, right?
Right. And so maybe that's how you should word it. Say, I don't want all this money to go up in fees. My child has a disability. I don't want it to go directly to them. Is it possible to use what's called an able account to put this money in for their future?
Yeah. I learned something new there myself.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan, I'm going to take a quick look at if you had other questions. We tried to answer some of the questions that were related in one general response instead of going to each one individually, but hopefully those who took the time to enter in some questions heard responses to your questions. We try as best we can. Can't get to everybody because you guys are lots of you guys out there.
Which is great. Thank you for coming.
What you talked about the benefits or the differences between an irrevocable and a special needs trust, the language of the special needs trust. I remember my special needs trust, it says this is designed to protect my parents' assets and to make sure he has government benefits, whereas my irrevocable trust has none of that language. Right?
You got it.
It was more asset protection. How do I do a special needs trust for my dependent young adult who is dependent disabled child? Is there a guide? She is on my TRICARE for survival benefits. Do you understand what that question is asking?
I think it's with the military benefits. So, if you want, it's because TRICARE is a military benefit. So if you have a military pension, you can leave your military pension to a very specific type of special needs trust that qualifies to receive that income and not count that income against your child's monthly maximum income limit to qualify for government benefits. That's a very specific, that's another very unique and specific type of special needs trust where you definitely need an attorney who knows what they're doing with that type of trust, if that's the question that you're asking.
Well, that brings up something else that I saw that come in a few times. I know some people have went out and got their trust done and they're asking whether or not their trust was designed right. If you're asking that question, most likely there's some challenges because whoever you hired should have given you that kind of confidence in their answers and their way they interacted. meaning that we have a series of questions that we ask our customer clients to ask potential attorneys to see if they have any idea. If they don't know what an IEP is, they don't know what SSI income is, they don't know some of these things, then they're not the right one. Because some of these attorneys get these cookie cutter templates and they just put in your name and charge you $3,000. It can't be that way. When I was working with my attorney to create mine, we had a dialogue about what I was trying to achieve, what I wanted to accomplish, and they made changes to my plan to accommodate some of the things that were important to me and my family. So it's important that if you had it designed by someone, you're uncertain about that, then I don't know for sure, and I'm not an attorney, but I would say that I don't have any concern about whether mine was designed. So it's not even a question. I know it was. So you should probably dig a little deeper and to see, I mean, I don't know, Ryan, how do they address that?
Yeah, I would just say, you could have somebody else take a look at it. You could, if you wanted to, one of the things you could do is you call Social Security and have them take a look at it.
Yeah,
and ask them to, well, it's better to find out now and ask them to review your trust to make sure it qualifies.
That's a good idea. I hadn't thought about it. See, Ryan, you are awesome. All right, we're going to wrap up with just thank you.
And that's actually a question that you could ask an attorney that you're hiring. Have any of your trusts been reviewed by Social Security, and have they been approved as a special needs trust to qualify?
All right. Okay.
Because if they haven't, then maybe they haven't written enough of them.
True.
Well, again, special needs trusts get audited. So if there's an attorney that writes a lot of them, they've probably been through that process before.
And it cut the mustard. You don't want to find out the hard way that, he didn't really know what he's doing. Now you're trying to get, reimbursed through his E&O insurance or whatever he's got, as opposed to having it done right and your child is still in this situation. So, right. Ryan, I think I know the answer to this one, but we're gonna wrap up with this one from May Baird. Do you have to file a tax return for an able account? I don't think so, but I'll let you go ahead and answer that.
Nope, you do not have to.
And you don't have to do one for a special needs trust unless it's over a certain dollar amount, right?
Right. Yeah, if it earns more than $100 of income, you should be doing a trust tax return. So it's not very high.
All right. I lied. So we're going to finish with Sharice Ray. Can a third-party special needs trust be either revocable or irrevocable? It has to be irrevocable.
Yeah, it should be irrevocable. We've had a few that have been revocable that seem to pass the test. But we lean on the side of, let's make sure we don't give them any reason not to use it. So we like to lean on the side of irrevocable as a preference.
Okay, everybody, we thank you. Thank you. Some of the people said they learned something from us today, so that's pretty awesome. And we awesome. Learned something today. We learned that Ryan and I need to get together a few minutes before to check our technology. And we will do so, and we will always continue to endeavor to do better. Thank you guys for joining us. Any final words of wisdom, Mr. Platt?
Oh man, did I have any words of wisdom anyway?
Absolutely.
Even during the hour and 20 minutes, I'm not sure. So for parting words of wisdom, I don't know if I have any of those either.
All right, you guys. Thank you very much. We will see you guys at the next one.